Today, we will explore a very important topic, the habits that shape our destiny. Have you ever wondered why some people succeed while others struggle with life? The answer lies in the habits they build every day. Life is not determined by fate or luck, but by the small habits we repeat. Good habits can open the door to a fulfilling life, while bad habits can become chains that bind you to failure. So, let's explore and change our habits to create the life we desire. Remember, what you do today will determine who you become in the future. Sometimes, misfortune is simply a result of poor habits in life. Some people often complain that life is unfair or that they don't have enough luck. In reality, the deeper cause is often the problem with their habits. As the saying goes, today's harvest is the result of yesterday's planting. People's luck is governed by cause and effect. What you put in, your habits, will determine what you get back. According to historical records, at the end of his life, Cao Cao hesitated to choose one of his sons, Cao Pi and Cao Ji, to succeed him. Cao Ji, a talented poet, was deeply loved by Cao Cao for his skills in literature and his early talent. Cao Cao often took him along to practice with the intent of nurturing him as his heir. However, Cao Ji ultimately lost the opportunity for succession. Why? It turns out that Cao Ji had bad habits. He was indulgent, liked to drink, and lacked self-discipline. Once, he drunkenly broke into the emperor's gate, which only allowed the emperor to pass. Cao Cao was extremely angry and, soon after, named Cao Pi his successor. Although Cao Cao didn't give up on Cao Ji entirely and assigned him a mission to rescue the army, Cao Ji's behavior led Cao Cao to lose faith in him completely. Eventually, Cao Ji died in disappointment in a small town. Meanwhile, Cao Pi, though not as talented, was meticulous and never careless. In the end, he succeeded and became emperor. If one cannot manage their own habits, how can they manage a kingdom? In life, many seemingly small habits have great power and can determine the direction of your life. Habits can change your destiny. As the I Ching says, in difficult times, one must change. Change leads to understanding, and understanding leads to longevity. Whether in work or in life, everything ultimately comes down to habits. Outstanding people are not perfect, but they understand the power of good habits. Life operates on the principle of cause and effect. What you sow is what you reap. Nurturing good habits is how you change your life, and all the good fortune will follow. The mindset determines habits, and habits change destiny. There's a saying, do it yourself, endure it, trust yourself, and save yourself. A person's destiny is hidden in their habits. Changing your habits is changing your life. There's a real story about an overweight friend who wanted to lose weight. He decided to ask himself every day, what would a healthy person do? Using this standard, he held himself accountable in everything, from walking to eating, and maintained this for a long enough period. Eventually, he became healthy and lost 50 kilograms, maintaining a slim figure. At first, we create habits, and then habits create us. When you change your mindset, you begin to act. When you start acting, you form habits. When you form habits, you develop your character. And when you shape your character, you're shaping your destiny. Thus, habits can become character, and character becomes destiny. Li Zhenyu, the founder of logic thinking, required himself to send a 60-second audio message to his users every day at 6:30 a.m. when he started his career. For 4 years, no matter the weather, he never missed a day. Through this, he gradually formed the habit of waking up early and reading every day, persevering in this routine, and eventually succeeded in building his own brand. Little things add up to big things. Small grains of sand can form a mountain. Even the smallest actions will yield results with perseverance. In life, luck is not as important as habits. Sun Tzu Mao once said, cultivating character comes from habits. When your nature is good on the inside, sickness will not arise naturally. To change your destiny, first change your habits. Habits have great power, they can push you forward and bring countless surprises. The more disciplined your life, the more successful it will be. The more effort you put in, the luckier you will be. How powerful can good habits be? In the Classic of Changes, it says, all things are inseparable from their essence. All cause and effect in life are the result of beliefs and actions. Believing in good habits creates good results, which can lead to a happy future. Here's a story. Two people both decided to write a novel of 1 million words. Person A hurriedly started typing, but after a month, he had only written a few thousand words. Feeling that the goal was too distant, he became discouraged, gave up, and moved on to other goals, ultimately accomplishing nothing. Person B, however, went back and made a plan to write 1,000 words every day. He stuck to this routine, gradually building the habit, and after 3 years, he published his novel and became a famous writer. As the saying goes, what's close in nature can change the farthest. The difference between people is created by their habits, and this difference grows over time. Good habits lead to a good life, even bringing health, happiness, and wealth. If you want to change your destiny, practice good habits. Habits can change your destiny. Li Fu, the author of Liu Fan's 4 Instructions, was once predicted to have a fixed fate, but under the guidance of a monk, he began to do good deeds and made them a lifelong habit. Eventually, he completely changed his destiny. In the latter half of his life, he had no connections to fame, but he excelled in exams and achieved remarkable results. He had no children initially but had them later in life. His habit of doing good deeds became the stepping stone for him to transform his life. Good habits can change our lives, even our destiny. This shows that changing your fate is not an illusion but begins with small changes. Nurture good habits, and you will seize your destiny. Finally, I would like to share this saying with you: if you want a field without weeds, plant full rows of rice. To get rid of bad habits, replace them with good ones. Next, let's listen to an article titled, "If you understand these 5 truths, you will have a successful and happy life." On a cypress tree near the green tombstone, there is a saying that everyone's life is like a traveler from afar. In this irreversible journey of life, some people strive for their entire lives, only to realize that normalcy is the true meaning of life. Some live in a hurry but ultimately realize that calmness is the greatest strength in life. In this rapidly developing society, we seem to always be chasing something, but we don't know what we are actually pursuing. Uncle Li, whose real name is Li Zhiyuan, is a worker born in 1970 who is about to retire. He has experienced the turbulent years of the reform and opening up era, witnessed the rise of the economy, and has worked hard at his job for decades. Now, as he is about to bid farewell to his career, he finally understands the truth of life. One day, he and his wife, Zhang Meiling, were sitting on a bench, watching people come and go. Suddenly, he became emotional and said, "Meiling, do you think we've been busy for what purpose in life?" Zhang Meiling was stunned for a moment and then smiled, saying, "What do you mean? Isn't it just to live?" Uncle Li shook his head and said, "No. I think only when a person realizes these 5 truths early in life, can they be considered a true winner. 1. The only person you can rely on is yourself." Uncle Li remembered his career and sighed, "When I first joined the company, I always hoped that the leadership would support me more and that my colleagues would help me more. But in the end, I still had to rely on myself." Zhang Meiling nodded thoughtfully, "Yes, just like our son, Xiao Ming, who is now working. When he faces difficulties, he always wants to ask us for help. We can help for a while, but we can't help for a lifetime." Uncle Li said sincerely, "The only person who can truly save you is yourself. Xiao Ming, learn to be independent. You can't always wait for help from others. 2. Health is always the top priority." Uncle Li unconsciously frowned. "When I was young, I didn't pay attention to my health. I stayed up late and worked overtime every day. Now I have many health problems. Zhang Meiling said sorrowfully, I told you to take care of your health, but you didn't listen. Now, every day you take medicine, and you can't even climb the stairs. Uncle Li smiled wryly. When I was young, I recklessly pursued a high income and status. But now in my old age, I'm recklessly trying to reduce my lipids and blood sugar. Health is truly important. Once it's lost, it's very hard to regain. 3. A good attitude is half the battle. Uncle Li said, do you remember our neighbor, Uncle Wang? Zhang Meiling nodded. I always remember him, he always smiled. Uncle Li sighed, his son's business failed and he was deeply in debt. If it were someone else, his hair would have turned gray by now, but he remained optimistic and cheerful. He helped his son restart his life, and now his son's business is thriving. Zhang Meiling realized, psychology is very important, right? Uncle Li nodded, yes. Napoleon once said, he who can control his emotions is greater than a general who conquers a city. Only by maintaining a good attitude can we stand strong in the storms of life. 4. Learn to accept differences. Uncle Li looked at the people passing by and said, everyone has their own ideas and viewpoints. We can't make everyone like us. Zhang Meiling smiled, that's true, who can make everyone love them? Uncle Li replied, but many people can't do this. We must learn to accept different voices and not care too much about others' opinions. 5. A happy family requires mutual understanding. Uncle Li gently held Zhang Meiling's hand and said, Meiling, we've been together for many years. Do you think our family is happy? Zhang Meiling smiled, of course I'm happy. Though it's not perfect, I feel very warm. Uncle Li nodded, yes, a happy family requires mutual understanding, just like the family in the TV show, A Life to Remember. They support each other and understand each other even in difficult times. Finally, the sun was setting, and the golden sunlight shone on Uncle Li and his wife. They looked at each other and smiled, as if they had found the true meaning of life. These deep insights of Uncle Li are the crystallization of wisdom throughout his life and are valuable principles for everyone. They reflect wisdom in how to deal with the world and show the deep understanding of life that a middle-aged man possesses. Life is not easy, but what is particularly valuable is knowing what is important and what is not, what should be persevered in and what should be given up. Only in this way can we invest our energy in things that truly matter and make life as joyful as possible without regrets. Next, let's listen to an article titled, 3 Types of People You Shouldn't Befriend, The More You Get Close, the Poorer You Become. 1. People who are lazy to change. There are people who, no matter how difficult or stagnant life becomes, never want to change themselves. They live in their own inertia, with no intention to break free from their comfort zone. These kinds of people can hardly achieve great things because they lack the ability to adapt and overcome challenges. Life is a series of experiences filled with challenges, and those who are truly successful have gone through many hardships and losses. It is through these pains that they learn to rise and renew themselves. 2. People who spend all their money and people who are overly frugal. These kinds of people both fail to manage their finances properly. One person spends extravagantly, while the other lives excessively frugally, too afraid to spend on themselves. Neither of them can enjoy life or invest in opportunities that bring value. 3. People who love to blame others. These individuals always shift the blame for everything that goes wrong in their lives. They are afraid to face reality and admit their own mistakes. Instead of accepting failure and learning from it, they choose to blame others. These people will forever remain trapped in failure because they can never see that the root cause lies within themselves. Next, let's listen to another article. The ancients once said, at 40, one should have no more desires, at 50, no more passions, at 60, no more overeating. Life lasts only a few decades, and after going through all kinds of ups and downs, we realize that joy and sorrow are like fleeting clouds. People who live transparently will know how to subtract from life to have a relaxed and comfortable existence. At the age of 40, life brings 8 or 9 things that are unsatisfactory, and these things are always present in our lives. When we feel down, most of us complain that life is truly difficult and exhausting. As everyone knows, suffering and exhaustion stem from having too many desires. We want too much and receive too little. It's like having a small car but desiring a larger one. If you get a larger car, you'll want a more expensive one. If you're never content with the present and always driven by desire, your body and mind will be very tired. The ancients also said, a dissatisfied person never has a comfortable seat. Once you're over 40, it's time to learn to subtract, reduce desires, and stop comparing in order to live a simple and content life. This is the greatest happiness in life. No matter how much wealth you have, you can't take it with you. No matter how high your status, it's all useless. The peak of life is not how many things you can clearly see, but how many things you can undervalue. Life isn't bitter, but the bitterness is the longing. The human heart isn't tired, but the fatigue is from not being able to let go. At middle age, one should take things lightly to live comfortably in this complex world. At 50, there are too many things in life that feel helpless. For the sake of family, we force ourselves to smile. You may think that if you're sincere enough, you'll receive sincerity in return from others, but you've never thought that this is just your own fantasy, and others don't appreciate it. What you thought was a good relationship turns out to be indifference and carelessness. Once you reach 50, having lived through half of life, life itself is already not easy, so why should we make it more painful? Every kind of relationship, if harmonious, will stay together, if not, it will disperse. Stop trying to please people who don't value you. Life comes and goes, and not everyone deserves your time and energy. Life is short, so don't force yourself. Be with people who make you feel comfortable and at ease. By the time you're 60, overeating can easily add burdens to your body, causing many illnesses, even leading to death. Therefore, if you want to stay healthy and avoid discomfort, you need to start by eating less. Only in this way can you maintain your health and live a long and peaceful life. The ancients often said that eating well is a blessing, but few know that eating in moderation is wisdom. Overeating harms your health. Even the best dishes should be enjoyed in moderation. Eating properly is the best way to maintain health and longevity. After all, good health is the most valuable asset in one's life. Life only comes once, it's short and fleeting. There is no time for regrets, no time to complain, and no time to reminisce. Therefore, do not desire too much at 40, learn to restrain it. Do not be passionate at 50, just enjoy life at 60. You will have good health. By doing these 3 things, you can be healthy, stable, happy, and worry-free in your later years. Throughout the rest of your life, I hope you will experience ups and downs without regrets, move forward without fear, and live calmly, safely, and happily. Next, let's listen to an article about 6 tips to help you avoid mental exhaustion and live a happy life. Mental consumption refers to overthinking, worrying, and mental conflicts. This state can make us feel tired, stressed, and negatively affect our daily lives and productivity. So, how can we improve this situation? Activating your high energy every day is crucial for a happy life. Activating high energy means using certain methods and habits to increase both mental and physical energy levels. This helps you feel better and more energized. 1. Get up and go outside. If you stay at home for days without exercising or socializing, only watching boring short videos, you will feel less active, low in mood, and unable to do anything. When your energy levels are low, your body will remind you that it's time to conserve energy. Many people live with very low energy, lying around at home, checking their phones, and eating takeout. Over time, they become irritable and unpredictable. 2. don't stay at home too long. No matter how long your holiday lasts, you shouldn't stay at home for more than 2 days. Even if you are at home, don't just lie in bed, especially don't watch short videos for too long. Instead, you can learn to cook, practice yoga, read books, or make videos to share with others. On weekends, go outside and find something to do, such as camping, visiting an exhibition, or meeting up with friends. 3. Exercise a few times a week. You don't need to exercise to lose weight or keep fit, but to conserve energy and improve your mood. When you exercise, you send a signal to your brain that you are healthy. On the other hand, if you just lie in bed, your body sends a signal to your brain that you're uncomfortable and sick. 4. Socialize with positive people. Be sociable instead of complaining and arguing with negative people. Energy is contagious. Xiao Wang is a very energetic person who never worries about anything. When the people in his group couldn't go to Tokyo, Xiao Wang didn't feel sad. He thought that even though they couldn't go to Tokyo, he could still enjoy his holiday somewhere else, and the scenery might even be better. 5. Be open to experiencing different possibilities in life. Meet more people, listen to their stories, and exchange ideas. When you interact with more people, you will discover that the world is much bigger than you imagined. Xiao Zhang once went to Laos after a breakup, where he met a Japanese girl. She had never been married and wasn't looking for anyone, but they had wonderful moments together. You can seek new opportunities, whether through books, documentaries, or meeting new people. 6. Don't dwell on meaningless things, especially things that have happened and can't be changed. For example, after going on a date with a guy, don't think about how you behaved or whether he likes you. Overthinking doesn't help, it only drains your energy. Focus on yourself and be kind to yourself. Finally, be kind to yourself, as this is very good for your mental and physical health. A Japanese film called The Late Drinking Style shows the main character going to the gym before enjoying a delicious beer, because she understands that being good to yourself also means not being too strict with yourself. Next, let's listen to an article about 4 ways of life that the ancients believed would make your life miserable. Everyone desires a comfortable and smooth life in the second half of life. However, those who rely on intelligence and take advantage of others to overcome difficulties will often suffer for the rest of their lives. Only those who are practical and hardworking can have a stable and happy life. Those who live opportunistically, deceive, or cheat will ultimately bring suffering upon themselves. Below are 4 ways of life that will make the rest of your life miserable. 1. Relying on others. Many people rely on others' help to overcome difficulties and consider this an easy way of life. However, this dependence is only temporary and, in the long run, will only make you weak and lazy. Be grateful when you receive help, but don't take it for granted. When you rely on others, you can only temporarily get support, but only when you rely on yourself can you truly take control of your destiny. Long-term dependence on others will make you lose the ability to be self-reliant and, in the end, you will be abandoned by society. 2. Only focusing on eating and drinking. Many people choose a lifestyle focused solely on eating and drinking to relax, thinking it's an easy way to live without worries. However, if you live like this, you will gradually lose your fighting spirit, have no motivation to improve, and eventually be left behind by society. Quit this habit and rely on your own efforts to strive for a better life. Some people live off savings, but after a few years, they realize they haven't kept up with society's progress and are discarded. 3. Pursuing power at any cost. Many people dream of having power and status at any cost, but their lives only become stressful, exhausting both physically and mentally. They lose many important things, such as health and family. The lives of those who pursue power are always full of pressure, and in the end, what they gain will not be worth what they lost. Therefore, let go of power at the right time and focus on health, family, and personal happiness. 4. Wasting inherited wealth. Some people inherit wealth from their ancestors and feel that they no longer need to work hard. However, relying on ancestral wealth will only make them lose their fighting spirit and eventually squander their assets. Only when you create wealth for yourself can you truly appreciate the value of hard work and ensure a stable, long-term life. In conclusion, living practically, not relying on others, being self-reliant, and cherishing what you have will help you live a happy and successful life. As the ancients said, you reap what you sow. Those who are greedy and don't make efforts will encounter difficulties in the second half of life, while those who are practical and hardworking will have a stable and happy life. Lessons from the video, Habits Shape Destiny. The video emphasizes that daily habits are the key to shaping our future. Small, consistent actions, practiced with patience, can lead to significant success. Good habits drive progress, while bad habits hinder growth. It encourages us to be self-aware, replace unhelpful habits, and build a positive lifestyle. The meaningful message is that destiny lies in our own hands, and by mastering our habits, we can create a better and more fulfilling life.